The concept of Deadbolt is simple. Go into different buildings, killing different undead with an assortment of weapons. For stronger weapons, you can head out to the docks outside your house and buy some to bring with you. Alternatively, you can find weapons around the map, and that's what I'll be taking advantage of. I will be trying to beat Deadbolt by only using weapons I find around the map. The rules are simple. I can't use any weapons that are in my hand at the start of a level, and I can't use weapons that I grab from the car. The tutorial was easy enough, mostly because it was designed around finding weapons. Since I technically found this .32 revolver, I decided it would be fine to use weapons you keep through level transitions. Now time for the first real level. Noisy neighbors took me a while to get the shooting right, but after those few mistakes, the level was complete. New High gives you a hammer right away, which makes things a lot easier. For some reason I thought you needed to throw the hammer to kill the bouncer, but I later realized that was just a speedrunner tactic. But at least he dropped a shotgun, so I didn't have to waste my only option for damage. After that, it was a quick cleanup before leaving. Smoke signals required me to scout out the area before entering. Here you can see I forgot the button to swap weapons so I could drop my .32 for a second knife. After correcting my mistake in the next run, I grabbed the 9mm and the rest of the level was basically free. I carefully took out the few enemies around me before going around to burn the ash. I remembered I could get an achievement for killing the guy on the toilet, so I did that just before leaving. Puff also required a bit of pre-planning. I wanted to do this level without the Tommy gun, and I wasn't sure how until I found this shotgun in the closet. Unfortunately, I forgot how to close doors and I got spotted and killed. Dogs. All of the Hounds introduces the Hellhounds, which are a pretty deadly enemy. Fortunately, there are knives I can use to instantly kill one by throwing it. I failed this first attempt because I couldn't deal with this bouncer properly, but eventually I made it through. The Bogeyman, a stealth mission that requires you to take out these zombie head alarms. Good thing you can throw a melee at one and pick it back up, and I'm given a hammer right at the beginning. With a bit more sneaking around, I managed to set off an alarm and wake most of the enemies up. Good thing I got a shotgun from the toilet bouncer and made it through first try. No Vacancy introduces the headless zombies, and wasn't too much of a challenge. The bodies drop 9mm SMGs, which means I get quite a lot of ammo to use. After killing the backup and lockpicking the safe, I completed the level. Supply and demand caused a few issues for me, mostly being enemy priority and ammo, but after a few good tries I got it done. The flames burned brighter when I returned. It was time to kill Roland. This level takes place in a big house with a lot of enemies to clear out, not to mention Roland in the center with his 9mm SMG. To finish this mission, I would need to take things slowly and carefully. Nah, I'm joking. The game gives you a sledgehammer, which made things way too easy. I mean, Roland only looks right, so if I silently kill the guys on the left, I could walk over to him and instantly kill him with the hammer, which I did. And with that, the zombie kings have been defeated. It's now time for vampires. Night Out required me to turn my brain gears and look for a few weapons that I could find. There's a 10mm downstairs and upstairs, and a 9mm SMG that's surrounded by enemies. I took things slow and steady and just barely got through first try. Flashing lights warning for the next level, Lux and Tenebris. This mission has 19 targets to take out, with a few weapons spread out here and there. By using the vents and being aggressive with the combat shotguns, I was able to swiftly clear the building and then finish off the rest of the dancers with the sledgehammer given at the end. The Bloody Mary introduces the bartenders, which can only be killed by destroying their bottle. This wasn't too difficult. With the 10mm I found and the combat shotguns dropped by the bartenders, I quickly got the key cards to grab the intel and leave. At this point, I was questioning the challenge of this challenge. Then it happened. The road bump. The really big road bump. Bottle service. This was the halfway point in the game, and I was stuck on this level for 30 minutes, and you can see why. There are no alternative entrances, weapons at the beginning, or ways around the first enemies. I could get into the vent, but it's blocked, and I can't reach the valve to unblock it because there's a bartender, and he'll shoot me before I can turn the valve and get back into the vent. I could shoot my gun to take out the lights so they can't see me, but if I get too close, they'll shoot me anyway. But what about noise? If I open the door and shoot my gun outside, I can get them to follow me and punch them down. But I would be breaking the rules, right? I figured it would be fine, but no. I made the rules and I'm not changing them this early. I knew there was a way to do this without using my 32. I was stuck here for such a long time until I figured out the method, and even after I figured out the method, I was still stuck because it was super precise. If I knocked on the door, then backed off by my car, I could bait one enemy outside. If I stood right at the edge of the windshield when the first vampire walked by the third line on the ground, then backed away, I could lead him away and quietly beat him to death in the back alley. After that, I would repeat the steps with the other guy, then find a way past the bartender. If I successfully bait the first 2 vampires outside, I could easily take out the bartender, grab the hammer, and move through the rest of the level. Finally, after 71 deaths in 30 minutes, I managed to beat this level. The next level didn't start out any better. Amber and Evelyn gave me 1 hammer at the start, and the only way to get it was to aggro this enemy. Eventually I found a way to grab the hammer and kill the enemy, but the room nearby was problematic. But if I could slip into this nearby vent, I might have a shot. The strategy I came up with was to grab the hammer, kill the enemy, throw it at the dog, then slip into the vent. This put me in a room with a bouncer, but I was able to successfully use cover to stop him from killing me immediately. With this cover, I could slowly inch my way to the 10mm at the other end of the room and kill him for a shotgun. With this shotgun, I cleared the top floor room, but I still had to take out the other building. Eventually, I switched my strategy entirely, grabbing the hammer from the right building before heading to the left. By dealing with the enemies on the left, I could get an early combat shotgun, which was an absolute game changer, allowing me to easily wipe each floor before making my way to the right building one last time and completing the mission. A lot to give doesn't give me much of a challenge. Nightcrawlers are brought into the game. These guys can see in the dark, which means stealth isn't going to be ideal. Good thing they drop guns I can use to kill more enemies. There's also a landmine I can strategically place for the reinforcements that come later. With the suppressed PDW, I was able to easily clear the building, and with everything else given to me, the reinforcements were no problem. Sir Stela was an interesting stage. A lot of the recent stages have been tight with movement and grabbing weapons, requiring me to plan out everything, and this was no exception. This old war rifle at the start was bait, because if I tried to grab it, I would be crushed by a sledgehammer. Instead, I had to enter this vent and make my way to the top left, go up the stairs, grab the rifle, but wait for a little bit so all the skeletons can be annoyed by me. Go back down, enter the vent, I'll go to the top left of the first floor, enter the elevator, go up, and take care of the guys on the third floor. I would grab the shotgun, clear the first floor, and grab the rifle down there. Go upstairs and kill the last three. But wait, there's more, because after you get the information, more enemies spawn, including this guy I was not ready for, but still managed to kill because I didn't want to go through that again. The challenge has really picked up in the last few levels, and I only expect it to get worse. Which it does. Forced Conversion is a level with a 1-minute timer, cramped enemies, and a very specific route I had to take to succeed. This one almost beat Bottle Service when it comes to difficulty. Here's the rundown. Unlock door, burn totem, take vent, grab Tommy, vent to bathrooms, burn totem, toilet, kill Nightcrawler, grab gun, kill enemies, use Tommy gun to scare downstairs enemies and break bartender bottles, place PDW with a 10mm, kill bartenders, vent across the roof, unlock door, burn last totem. Finally, I had to wait for the remaining enemies to pass so I could slip down the stairs behind them. This level took about 4 less total minutes and had 2 less deaths than bottle service, and was really irritating to get through because of how tight the vent timings were. But that's over with. So it's time for Madam Stela, which, spoilers, was significantly easier than the previous level. Similar to Sir Stela, I had to do a lot of planning, but also I could beat this bartender to death and get a free combat shotgun at the start of the level, so no problems there. After eventually finding the path I needed to take, I completed this level and I was on to the skeleton levels. Overnight shipping is the first, and isn't too bad. There's an easy old war rifle you can grab, and skeletons don't take too many punches to kill. You just need to make sure they haven't readied their rifle. After a little trial and error, I managed to finish this level. Our next level is structurally sound and... Oh no. I can't walk across this mine, which means I need to shoot my gun. Unfortunately, there's no secret strategy around this. The run is just over. Unless you don't count this shot, but the rules are rules. You can't beat Deadbolt without using your starting weapons. But let's say this mine wasn't there. Could this level be completed? Yes. With one bullet, I could break the mine and walk past the sergeant. Using a vent, I was able to get 2 shotguns and a hammer, which allowed me to easily clear the rest of the level. It sucks that the mine was there, but that's the least of our problems. Bar hopping wasn't that problem though. This level was a simple clear that required a little planning for the first phase, but the rest was simple. Horror Show required me to return to bottle service strategies and lure these guys outside to kill them. But after that, I got an old war rifle, and after a few attempts, took down every enemy in the building. Now it's time for Timur the Tinkerer. This is the easiest level to complete. You don't even need to use your starting gun once. You don't even need to shoot your gun to kill an enemy. This is a very fun level though, and it was nice figuring out how to get through the traps again. After this was the real run ender though. While structurally sound could be completed with the removal of a mine, drive-through was straight up impossible to beat. The 3 melee demons could be manageable if the gun demon didn't exist. There's nowhere I could go. I tried using my gun to shoot out the light to maybe slip by, but it wasn't gonna happen. The only way I could win was to... No, wait. I'm pretty sure there's an item that's not a weapon in the shop. Let me just... There it is. The lords at Hopoo Games added the Flashbang to the item shop. With this and a little speedrun strategy using cover, I was able to slip past the demons and run away to a weapon. At this point, I just had to keep it cool and let enemies come to me for easy pickings. I'm not sure if this counts as a run invalidator, but I just want to play the rest of the levels with no starting guns rule set. As a glass continues to tempt me to use my starting gun, as it gives me an auto grenade launcher, but I found a way. By beating this first guy to death, I could attract the guys inside to look at the door while I used the vent to get behind them and run away using a flashbang to guarantee my escape. After that, I baited more minigunners until I could finally get a gun to fight back. I slowly cleared the building, got the intel, and walked back to my car. Vall was a really fun level with a little sniper dot to avoid as I moved around the other demons. The good thing about this map is it gives me 9 easy to grab weapons to clear the enemies. Once I dealt with the first building, I went to the level transition. This building was a lot easier to clear with fewer enemies to deal with. After that, I entered a quick sniping section and completed this level with no issues. And now it's time for the final level. This level gives me sniper support, and while I could have baited this first guy, I figured it would be fair to use the sniper support, since you don't get it anywhere else. Once the first rooms were cleared, I went to the armory and grabbed the auto grenade launcher and a combat shotgun, before getting some high ground to easily take out most of the big enemies in the gym. The rest were no match for my grenade launcher. After heading through the portal, we're taken to the real final level. Home Sweet Home. While this level gives you a .32 revolver at the start, I still chose not to use it. Fortunately, the game gives you a few weapon pickups around the mansion you fight in. I decided to take the other .32 revolver and head down the well to talk to the fire in its true form. Once our conversation was over, I head back up the well and fought Ibzan. I messed up my first attempt and respawned with the default .32. I had to get a new gun. Luckily, I could easily get another .32, a headhunter, or a scythe. I chose the headhunter since it can instantly move Ibzan to his next phase. That is until I noticed the death and taxes behind him and used that for most of the fight. I also picked up a Revenant since it also one-shots, and it's also the gun Ibzan uses. I started running out of ammo towards the end to clear out some of the enemies, which is when I picked up the scythe, easily cutting through the remaining patrolling enemies. Then grabbing the headhunter to finish Ibzan and his other buddies. As he kneeled by the well, I walked over and ended him with the scythe before having my last talk with the flame. Whether or not I beat this challenge or not is up in the air. On one hand, I didn't use any starting guns to kill enemies, but I had to use a gun to destroy that one landmine, and the flashbang was needed to progress through 2 levels. If you ask me, the challenge completion doesn't matter too much, as long as I was able to provide you with a video that you enjoyed watching. And for me, this was a great challenge to help come up with creative solutions for certain levels, like bottle service or forced conversion. If you'd like to see me tackle this challenge on hard mode, leave a like. By 15 likes, I'll start working on it. Until next time.